The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today, and I have with us our very own Noah Burris.
Hey.
He's going to be our resident expert on our one-for-one for the month of September, all month long. We've been supporting Jordan's Crossing, and this is kind of a personal connection for Noah, because this is a ministry that in his off time, he has been helping out with that at one point. In fact, kind of still a staff member there, but full-time here at the church. But that's just not enough ministry for Noah Burris. So welcome in, Noah.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. For those that don't know, and I think everybody does from Worship Wednesday at this point, but Noah serves as our worship and outreach pastor up in Johnstown. And when he's not doing that and not taking care of his newlywed, there's other things that he's involved in, and one of them is Jordan's Crossing. So just kind of give us a little bit of a bird's eye view of Jordan's Crossing, what it is.
Yeah, so Jordan's Crossing is a homeless resource center in the west side of Columbus, kind of in between Hilltop and Valley View, that area off of North Hague Avenue. And they do a wide variety of things, the biggest being it's pretty much this big open room. Homeless people can come in, they can stay all day, 9 to 4. And in that time, they're given meals. On Fridays, they're given showers. And pretty much there's a whole team of people that are coming in, talking, making conversation with them about the Lord, about potential treatment options. Oh, man, I'm feeling a little raspy today.
A little verklempt.
And then, so it's just a beautiful place for them to go, because I'm sure you know if you see homeless people, sometimes people don't like them outside their store or their place or sitting on their benches. So it's just a place for them to come, get resources. They can get propane in the winter, clothes, jackets, pretty shoes, anything they would need to survive, to stay up on their feet while they're in the midst of their addiction or struggles or whatever, for whatever reason they're out there. Fred and his family have given this beautiful vision, this place for them to come and get fed, get warm, and hear some of the gospel and the good news, and just to be loved on, treated like people.
So I mentioned, of course, that you're directly involved in this. How did that come about? Like, how did you first come encounter with Jordan's Crossing?
Oh, man. So I grew up at Grove City Church of the Nazarene, and that's actually where Fred and his family attends. And so we kind of just have very loose connections with family-wise. Like, my grandpa knows him from way back then, before he was even in Jordan's Crossing, and Fred. And so then I heard of it. I actually went there with our youth group one night to kind of serve and just kind of get us exposed to this and to serve food. And then my friend Jeremiah, actually, I may have shared this before, but he actually led a homeless man to the Lord up at his school in college. And he called me and was on fire and was just like, dude, I just did this. And he's like, I think I really want to do this. Like, I want to help, the homeless population. And I had no desire, no dream, no really tug or pull.
Like, good for you.
I was just like, that's cool. And he's like, no, I think you're the guy. Like, I think you're the one who I'm supposed to do this with.
Oh.
And I was just like, I don't feel it, buddy.
Yeah, it's always dicey when somebody else feels like they've had a revelation about what God wants to do in your life.
Right. Yeah. And I was just leading worship at this point. Like, I was just like, okay. So through a very long process, several months, the Lord opened my eyes to this and just said, I felt very strongly that, hey, I think this is what, for this season, this is what I want you to focus on.
Yeah.
And so I had known Fred. I'd known he was doing this ministry. And so I reached out to him and I just said, hey, me and my friend are wanting to do this. What advice do you have for us? What do you think we should do? Or how can we help you guys, serve you guys? And so he said, come on in to the building. We'll give you a tour. We'll just show you what we do. And then we can talk. So we come in, he shows us everything. They have this, I wouldn't say nice building, but it's a building. It's there's a lot of.
It's got a roof and walls.
It's big.
Yeah.
And so and he's just showing me, I mean, he just has rooms of clothes. I mean, propane stacks. It's crazy. And they get all these donations from Amazon. They have a whole Amazon room to where Amazon just brings, I think the other day we had like 40 sleep apnea machines, like just random stuff comes in. And so I mean,
that raises
kayaks.
a lot of questions in my head, but go ahead.
If you're homeless and you have sleep apnea, you are taken care of. So there's bikes and kayak, all just random stuff. So we sit down with Fred and he's like, so what do you want to do? What's your dream? What's your vision? And we were just like, we don't know. At this point, me and Jeremiah had just been walking around downtown. And when we would see a homeless person, we would stop and just talk to them, pray with them, lead them to the Lord. And we went and bought gift cards. We were using our own money at this point. My mom gave us some money. My grandma heard what we were doing, so she gave us some money. And we were just buying gift cards, buying water. We actually got a bus ticket for a homeless lady to Cleveland so she can make it to court. If she used it, that's beyond us. But just that type of stuff. We were just kind of aiming at the wind, just driving down there, parking. Yeah. We'd walk for a couple miles, see who we could find and talk to. And so we kind of wanted to center in kind of our objective and figure out, okay, what did you do? How did you start? What can we do? So we're sharing all this with him and he goes, okay. And he was like, it's kind of crazy you're here right now because I actually have two pastors, a husband and wife, who just took over this church in the Hilltop, and I think they would let you use their building. And I was like, okay, cool. And so he's like, and here's what we'll do. He's like, so something cool they do is they actually outsource meals to other ministries as well. So they have people making lunches all day, every day, 9 to 4. People are making these sack lunches. They have to be making thousands and thousands because people come and pick up every day of the week for like Southeast Healthcare comes and picks up several hundred. Terry Banks is a pastor out there in the Hilltop. He picks up 100. And then he was making us, he was like, so what I'll do for you is I will supply all your meals and I'll supply all your clothes for the next year. And he's like, if you're committed to this, if you really want to do this, you don't have to worry about any of that need. Like you don't have to figure out how to get food, how to get clothes. I will just give all that to you. You go take it. So we were just like, what? Like at that time, we were just like, this is crazy. Like our ministry's taking off. And so we met this pastor and he was like, so what I can do for you. So they had like this like parsonage in the back, kind of, again, not glamorous, but he was just like, you can have this whole parsonage to hold stuff, to do stuff. And then on Friday nights, you can just pass out here. Like you can just use the church out front because there's a bunch of traffic. It was on Whitethorn Avenue. So there's a bunch of foot traffic, homeless traffic. There's camps just right down the road. So we started setting up on Friday nights and ended up growing. We were feeding 75 to 100 homeless people. We would go to camps before and then after we started having a meal. Just serving the community, just serving the people around, and even the not homeless people, just in poor situations. You know, that's just not a great area to be in. And so they would come down, get some groceries for the week, and so it expanded into this pretty cool thing. Every Friday night we were down there doing that. But then eventually I kind of stepped away a little bit because I was just getting very heavy into ministry. I felt like it was okay to have a night off. And so I was loosely connected to that, actually the pastor ended up loving doing it. Yeah. And so at that time I was just like, you know what, maybe this was just a season to set him up and,
and now he's running with it.
Right. And his church got heavily involved to where I didn't even need to be there. Like he would bring volunteers, I would bring volunteers. And I was just kind of sitting back, kind of just supervising, kind of just making sure everything was working anyway. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to let this be his church ministry and I can go start something else. So long story short, at that time, I was actually working at UPS as a supervisor, ended up quitting that. And then I was cutting grass. And then all of a sudden, Jennifer, who is Fred's daughter, Fred, the owner of Jordan's Crossing, his daughter called me and just said, hey, you've been on my mind. We actually just got this grant to where we can hire another, what's called a peer supporter or like a case manager for under this, whatever this grant is. She's like, would you come on staff pretty much every day and just come and talk to people? And she's like, I know you have a pastoral background. She's like, and what I love about Jordan's Crossing, and I wish all places where they are faith-based, like everything they do is centered around the gospel, centered around the love of Christ. And what you'll see is a lot of addiction treatment, a lot of addiction places are not faith-based. And so to have a place that, yes, we're coming in as peer supporters to get you out of addiction, but we're going to sit here and pray with you. And she was like, kind of, I just want you to come and pray with people. Like, just come and be like an on-staff pastor almost, but get paid through this grant. And so I, of course, took that because I was cutting grass and I was like, I already have a love for this and I can now go get paid to do this. I was like, heck yeah, I'm on. So I started working there, and I've been there. I was working there every day, but then now since I came on full time at the church, I go on Fridays now, and we've expanded even their ministry. Kind of what they had in mind was taking a group of us and going out to the camps instead of everybody coming to us.
Right.
We're now reaching farther. Like we're all the way. They're on the hilltop, so now we're reaching all the way by like Cosi and stuff. Like we're on that track, on that bike trail, going all the way around, all the way down to McKinley. So we're reaching a broader thing. So that's what I do on Fridays. Is a group of us, we go out into the camps, actually seeing where they're going, where they're living in that situation, and then trying to pull them out of that, trying to get them. The more I'm in there, the more I'm just like, yeah, we're just here with food. But now that I'm in, I'm like, hey, I could give you a fresh start today. Like with the Lord, we could give you a fresh start today. So yeah, that's been my involvement. I'm kind of pulled back a little bit now. I'm just there on Fridays for a couple hours. But
so let me hear about maybe one of those moments while you're sharing with people. Where it's like, okay, this is why I'm doing this.
Oh man. So we were out at a camp actually last Friday. And this lady comes up and she's just like, hey, do you guys know where I can go? Do you guys where's your other camps? Because this one's getting really dangerous. Like there's just a lot of guns, a lot of drugs. She's like, I just left my boyfriend. And those are all like in the addiction world, you have to really give up everything. You have to be at the end of yourself. If you have any piece of you that still wants to be there, unfortunately, you're not ready. But she was given all these things, and especially if you have a boyfriend out there or you have a girlfriend out there, it makes it that much harder to get you into a treatment center. So she was given all these signs of just like, she's ready. She's just like, she really said, I'm done. And I was just like, hey, I could get you into a house tonight. Like you could be given a fresh start tonight. Now she ended up not doing it because for other reasons, but that was just last Friday. But a couple months ago, we had a guy who in that same situation just said, oh, I had this. Like, cause normally I start out just saying, how long you been out here? Like, how long you been doing this? And, oh, I've been doing this for a year and I was doing this, and this. And, oh, what are you doing for work? And just have conversation going. I was like, have you ever even been to treatment? And this guy was like, I have, and I really need to go back. And I was just like, I can take you right now. We will go right now. And he actually said, I'm in, and left his bag and got in the truck, and we left and took him to treatment. So it's a little harder when you're actually in the camps because you're in their home.
Yeah.
And so for them to look at everything and then walk away is so much harder. But in the year I've been there, we've sent over 150 people to treatment. Like we've taken either out of a camp or sitting in the building, eating and just saying, hey, you've been coming here for a long time. What's your story? Why are you here? What was the final breaking point to get you to be homeless? And then to be like, would you want a fresh start? Like, would you want to get out of here? And so many of them, and Amanda Hazlett works at Jordan's Crossing. She's the peer supporter there. And she's incredible. Sheila just has, when I first started, I honestly thought about quitting because just Amanda just has this presence about her, and she's just so good at what she does that she'll just walk up to somebody and be like, you need to go to treatment. And they're just like, yeah.
Yes, I do.
You're right.
Like Jedi mind tricks.
And then they'll go back to the office and then they're gone that afternoon. And I'm just like, and I'm sitting here like scared to talk to somebody. And she just goes up and she's like, yeah, you need to get out of here. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And then they go. And to me, I'm just like begging people like, do you need treatment? And they're like, nah, F you, I'm out of here. And I was like, ah. And then they'll start yelling at me. And I'm just like, I don't think I'm the guy for this. But I learned how to talk and how to get there. And so Amanda, she's incredible. She's on staff there. Yeah, she's incredible.
All right. Well, tomorrow we're going to get a little more into maybe some of the programming and everything that's available through Jordan Crossing. It's really encouraging just to hear your passion and some of the experiences you've had. If you're interested in that, that's been our focus for One. And you can hunt down Noah Burris and ask him more questions about it. You can also check out everything that's going on in the church by going to shepnaz.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For Pastor Noah, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.